Mr. Friendly is in today's super awesome poker game. He's very excited. His stack is wobbling over. Mr. Friendly can't wait to play. Guys do silly things, like chew tobacco. Why would guys chew tobacco? I don't know. They should quit. Perhaps guys like the experience of the chew. Well, mint snuff gives you the satisfying experience without exposing you to tobacco. You'll be chewing mint, but you'll feel like you're chewing tobacco. Super awesome. Girls don't like tobacco breath. Ew. Girls love fresh mint breath. Chew mint snuff. The good stuff. Mint snuff is super awesome. And now we're going to play super awesome poker. I'm going to shuffle the cards. Mr. Friendly is in seat 5. He's the big blind and the chip leader. He's very excited. But watch out for seat 4. He's a snake in the grass. We're going to play Limit Hold'em. The blinds are $2 and $4. The betting rounds will be $4 and $8. There are 7 players. The action will begin here. This player is sitting next to the big blind. Let's see what he has. 6, 4. Is that a super awesome hand? Obviously not. 6 of heart, 4 of spades. This player will fold. Let's see what the next player has. Queen, 2. Queen of spade, 2 of club. What would you do? Well, with this hand of queen 2? What should this player do? He's thinking about calling. He likes the queen. The queen is powerful, but the kicker, the second card, is very bad. But he's second to act. Should he call? Well, he's rather a tight player, somewhat passive. He's going to fold. Let's see what the next player has. 10, 3. 10 of heart, 3 of diamonds. He's third to act. He's in middle position. He doesn't want to play that hand. He will fold. Let's see what the next player has. 9, 8. Not suited. 9 of club, 8 of diamonds. Everybody has folded to this player. Because everybody has folded, he's going to call. He won't raise with 9, 8 offsuit, but he'll call. He's in. Let's see what the button has. The button is last to act before the blinds. Before he even knows what he has, he's probably decided already that he'll play because he only has one player coming at him. Possibly two more if the blinds join, but still that'll only be three opponents. He has a very similar hand that the prior opponent has. However, he's suited with 9 of spades, 8 of spades. What should this player do? He should raise. Why should he raise with 9, 8 suited? Only one player is coming at him. He only has the blinds. If he raises here, he might have a chance to push the blinds out. He has a suited connector, very powerful type of hand, because it can make a flush, a straight, and it can connect with a board with high cards and a board with low cards, because 9-8 is kind of in the middle of the authority spectrum. He's going to raise. It is limit, so he can only raise a certain amount, only $4 more. He'll raise to 8. He'll put in his red $5 chip and 3 pretty yellow to make it $8. Let's see what the small blind does in response. King, queen, king of club, queen of heart. What should the small blind do? Raise, call, or fold? Well, the small blind is going to call. He's going to put in $6 more to call to make it 8. He's in. He's excited. Let's see what the big blind has. You may notice that the big blind is the chip leader. He has a lot of more chips than all the other players. That gives him a bit of an advantage. Let's see what he has. Another connector, not suited, but it does connect. 5 of spade, 4 of diamonds. He's the chip leader. He feels like he's got way too many chips and he can just play more hands that way. And typically chip leaders will do that from time to time, especially if they're a loose player. This player is a loose player. What's a loose player? Well, it's a player that plays more hands. He's loose with his choices of what he will play and what he won't. He plays more as opposed to a tight player who would play less of a range of hands. So he's going to call for $4 more. He's in. And we have 4 players. All the chips go in the pot and we burn and turn the flop.
What will happen next? Mr. Friendly is super excited.
Let's see. We're going to burn and turn. Here we go. King! King! 8. Wow! What a flop! Wow! Everybody has something except for the chip leader. But he doesn't care. That might be Mr. Friendly. Mr. Friendly plays almost every hand and he has a ton of money and he just splashes it all around. He loves to play poker. And everybody really likes him because he's so friendly. Who's first to act? This player here. Wow, he's really connected with the board with his king because there's 2 more on the board. What should he do? Again, he's first to act. Should he be a snake in the grass? Like my boyfriend? Or should he bet and be straightforward? Well, if he doesn't bet and he checks he'll give his opponents an opportunity to bluff, and then he can catch the bluff. He'll be a bluff catcher. And he could give his opponents an opportunity to kind of do the betting for him. And he could just lurk, covert and hidden, and nobody will know that he has a third king. He's going to be kind of a snake in the grass and check with trips. He checks. Next player is the chip leader. We think it's Mr. Friendly. I think it's him. He is going to check also. He doesn't really have anything. He has 5-4 offsuit, and the board has got 2 kings and an 8 on it. Next player has a pair of 8s. Should he bet? Well, he's thinking that the button might raise. But he'll go ahead and bet, even if the button raises. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the betting denomination for the flop round. Once we get to the turn, it will go up. What does the button do in response? Should he raise or just call? He's not going to fold. He has an 8. That gives him 2 pairs, kings and 8s, along with the other player.
What will the button do at this critical point?
He's going to go ahead and he could raise because these players checked. He's going to raise to 8. Why would he raise to 8? Well,
the player on the button has 2 pairs, kings and 8s.
He thinks that this player probably bet because the 2 opponents checked to him. And he feels like, well, I do have 2 pairs. I'll go ahead and raise, and maybe I could push out the other players. But that might be a mistake, right? Because the snake in the grass is sitting next to him. The snake in the grass is going to re-raise. 5, 8, 12. So he'll raise to 12. The betting is in increments of $4 during the flop betting round. Mr. Friendly has to check out now. He doesn't care. He's having fun. He will fold though. And he'll have to wait till the next time to have more poker fun. All right, all the chips. Oh, actually, this player has to call. He'll call to 12. He's a rather aggressive player. He sees the kings on the board. He does see them, and he knows, well, he thinks this opponent here is just betting because he's on the button, and he has no idea that this opponent has a king. He's not guessing that he has a king, but because he had checked early on. So remember that for a super awesome poker move. If you do have, a really great hand, but you're in early position, you might want to consider checking to kind of rope your opponents in. All right, all of the chips go in the pot. Let's burn and turn the turn card. Jack of spades. That's 2 spades now on the board. This player here is first to act. He still has his trips. Should he bet now or continue to do the snake in the grass move and check? Why would he not want to check now? He would not want to check now because there's 2 spades on the board. If he checks and his opponent check behind him, everybody gets a free card. giving anybody that has 2 spades in their hand an opportunity to get a flush. A flush beats trips. He's going to bet. The minimum bet is $8. He will bet the $8 now, confusing his opponents because he hadn't been betting prior. So maybe his opponents are going to guess that he has a jack in his hand. This opponent thinks to himself, well, if my other opponent has a jack in his hand, that gives him kings and jacks. That would beat my kings and eights. He doesn't want to continue the betting line, and he'll go ahead and fold. Regrettably, let's see what the button does. What does the button have now? He has a flush draw. One more spade will give him a flush. He also still has his 2 pairs, kings and eights. Should he raise or call? He's going to raise to 16. This player will snap, call, immediately call. All right, we're going to burn and turn the final card. If it's a spade, it'll give this player a flush. If it's a king, it'll give him quads. If it's an 8, it'll give this player a full house. How many outs does this player have? Well, he has 2 spades in his hand. There's 2 on the board. There's 13 spades in a deck. 13 minus 4 is 9. He has 9 outs. Plus he could get another 8. There's 1 8 in his hand, 1 8 on the board. That gives him 2 more outs. 4 8s in a deck minus the 2 8s on the board is 2 more outs. That's a lot of outs for him.
How many outs does the button have?
11 outs altogether. How many outs does this player have? King or 8, or basically anything but a spade, this player would win. So that's a lot of outs to count, right? Anything but a spade, any king, and any 8 obviously would drastically improve his hand. Let's see what the river is. King! What? Wow! Wow!
What a river.
This player is first to act.
Seat 4, the snake in the grass, is sitting on quads. 4 kings. What is the most super awesome poker move that he can execute upon his opponent?
He could revert back into his snake skin and be a snake in the grass again. If he checks, he knows his opponent will bet. If he bets, his opponent might fold. He knows that. He's going to check the nuts. Why? Why would he do that? Because he's a snake in the grass. That's the way he plays. He loves to do that. He lives for the check raise, and that's what he's going to do right now. He'll check with the nuts.
Mr. Friendly is getting overstimulated watching the action.
He has quads. 4 kings. He has 4 kings. 4 kings.
Quad kings checked by the snake in the grass.
This player is going to bet. With his full house. He has a full house. He has 3 kings and 2 eights. He can only bet $8 because it's limit.
The snake in the grass.
Immediately check raises. The 2 men look at each other and a sword fight ensues. The player on the button raises another 8. So that was 16. He's going to make it to 24. This player is going to raise again. There's 32. What does this player do now? Well, he's not going to keep going because at this point, with his opponent continuously coming back, he's starting to realize, oh my gosh, he could actually beat my full house. If he has a jack, he would have a higher full house. And of course, if he has a king, he has quads. So this player will give up, but he wants to see his opponent's hand. Because of course, their hands are hidden, right? They don't know what each other has. Only you do, because you're super awesome poker players and aficionados. So this player here on the button would call. He would not continue to raise. One more 8, one more denomination of 8 would make it even. And now, because he called, the rules are that this player has to show his hand. And of course, he proudly, like a peacock, will show his king. Wow, quads! That truly is super awesome and very rare. This player will go ahead and show his card. He's like, oh, I had, or would he? He might not. He might not show his cards because he might be a little embarrassed. He was thinking about it but decided not to. But remember, what he did have was that full house, right? Did that player make a mistake by betting and raising and, calling the re-raise? Well, I wouldn't call it a mistake. But keep in mind, if you have a really good hand, right? But it's not the best possible hand on the board. For example, a player could have had a jack, right? That would beat his full houses with kings and 8s. And of course, a player could have a king getting quads, which happened to him, unfortunately. But he'll be back to play more. The snake in the grass is the winner.